Hello. Oh, excuse me. Hello, it's Melinda from Alexis and Melinda's Art Space. How you all going today? Welcome to 2024. Wow, it's a weekend already. Where'd the first week go? It's like 2023 gone. So welcome to 2024. Happy belated New Year to everyone. Hope everyone had a lovely festive season and is raring to go for 2024. I'm hoping to be more regular on this channel in 2024. It's one of my goals, not New Year's resolutions, but one of my goals for 2024. Just family life, health-wise, nothing serious, just injuries, I'll put it that way. Just zapped a lot of my time and energy and a bit of my mojo in 2023. So I'm hoping to be, as I said, a bit more regular. Got a bit of a different video on today. I noticed a lot of my art journaling books. I work in a lot of altered books and some commercial albums, and I noticed a lot of my art journals are getting to the end. Yes, an art journal does get to the end. So a lot of them I only had between 1 and 5 pages left in them. So I have got flip throughs on my channel. I think in the last couple of months I finished one up. I'm very close to finishing another couple. I've half filmed a video and I've just got to go back and film the second half of the video, and I've been putting it off on some of the journals. So it's also my goal in 2024, finish things, complete things. Often I'll put in the too hard basket and go, yeah, we'll do that one day. One day never comes. So that's my goal this year, is to finish things, and not while we're doing that, also not buy a lot of stuff, crafty stuff, because I have a little bit, okay, a lot, confession time, and I only really want to replace what I've run out of. E.g. I run out of glue, I'll buy glue. If I run out of yellow paint, I'll buy yellow paint. Trying not to buy any more art journals or embellishments or papers or stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going to say exclusively no buy, because that would be boring and really not sort of, my brain wouldn't be able to follow it. So more of a low buy year, sort of loosely. My daughter and I also have a lot of craft kits. She also got a few more for Christmas, but we found a few more in our stash from a few years ago, and some model kits and stuff. So we're going to try to use all those up as well. So it's going to be a use it up year, which hopefully will be good for the channel, because we'll have lots to film, because we'll do lots. Just pop my other light on. Oh, that's much better. I was wondering why it was half dark down here. So today I thought I'd go through what journals I will be using in 2024. I tend to have quite a few art journals on the go. I work in altered books. I like different sizes. I teach art journaling as well, so having my example in the book that I'm also demonstrating in is a pain in the bottom. So hence why I have more than one journal on the go, and I get bored working in the one size. So these are the newish ones I've picked out of my box. Last year I started a box of new art journals, and anytime I found an altered book that was going to be used as an art journal, I'll pop it in that box. So I raided that box and picked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new ones. Then I've got some current ones that I want to work in some more, that I found on my shelf that were lurking around, that have been around for a little while. So I want to finish those up, but they're not the ones that have got 1 or 2 up to 5 pages left. These ones are quite late. So let's go through my pile of journals. So as I said, I do like working in altered books and different things, so I want to try a few different things this year. I've just noticed my string has got bunny eaten. It must have been hanging over, or my ribbon has got bunny eaten. It must have been hanging over the box. Oh, don't get bunnies. So this is a little book I picked up at a $2 shop. I've got a couple of these. It's got a ribbon closure, which I might end up taking the ribbon off because now it's been bunny chewed, or I could probably tie a new one on. So it's black, and it's not the best paper. It's probably cardstock level. So I don't, confession time, I don't like working small. I don't like doing ATCs or cards, because I don't know, small my brain just doesn't get it. Give me big, give me double-sided pages, give me large canvases. Haven't done canvases for a while, but I'm happy as mud. Pigs in mud. Give me small, and I stare at it and go, I don't know what to do. I think I go to try to stick too much on it, and then I try to take too much off it, then I don't have enough on it. I don't know. But I'm going to try a bit more this year, because this one, I don't know whether I'll work directly on the pages, whether I'll use it as a, like, Zentangle drawing book. I really love taking my plastic stencils that I sell through my business, drawing on the design and then colouring them in a certain way, or doodling in the spaces or something like that. So that would be good for this and doing it in white, or I may make little artworks and stick them in this book. As I said, this paper is not real good for mixed media. It's sort of more good for paint pens and stuff. So I thought I'd have a go at doing that. So this one is, do I have a ruler handy? No, of course not, but I have a glass mat with inches down here. So you're going to get the measurements in inches. So this one is 6 inches by just under 6 inches. That includes the binding. So I like the spiral binding because, well, not really good for double pages, but it's expandable and it's easy to tear pages out. And hopefully my book doesn't look like an alligator like this at the end of the year. So I'm going to work in that little one. Then I prepared this book last year, I think, and never started it. So when I go to op shops, I like looking for different size journals. So this one's like a square format, which really intrigued me, and really like the paper. It's when I'm choosing altered books, and I do have a few videos on the channel about that, I like the books from the 1960s and 70s that have this really thick, and I've stuck 2 of these pages together, semi-thick, non-glossy page. So I don't know whether I have the date from this book. No, I've covered it up. But they're usually from the 60s and 70s, but I liked the format of this book. Either to do a long skinny one, but 90% of my pages are double-sided. But I thought this is a nice square size. What size is this? Just over 8 inches. So I thought that'd be fun to play with. So this book has been fully started. I've ripped probably a third to a half of the pages out and glued some together. So this one is raring to go. All I've got to do is gesso the pages. And sometimes I like some of this writing underneath. This one's got mostly writing. Sometimes I let some of this peek through. Sometimes I put white gesso on it and you can't see that it's an altered book. So that one will be fun. This is another one. This is sort of the size I like, which is 8 inches by 10 inches. So 8 by 10. So it's a little smaller than an A4 sheet. It's a little bigger than the ones I've had. But again, this is a book I haven't prepared yet. So I put this one in, but then as I was looking at it, there's really lots of nice drawings in it. This one is 1977. So this is what I'm talking about. This is not glossy paper, and it's thicker paper than your novels, like your reading novels. So I was going to turn this one into an art journal, and I may still do it, but there's really cool images in it. So I'm debating if I'm going to use this one or not as an art journal, or I may go through and tear out the images I like, and then like something like this, I don't mind pasting over all this, but some of them had, she's really nice sketches in it. Obviously this is a fashion sewing, which just, the pictures just got me in this one. Usually don't keep the dust jackets, usually get rid of those. I love the bunch of flowers. So I may, this one's, if I'm going to turn it into an art journal, I have to be very strategic of what pages I pull out, because I'll go through and pull out the ones I really like. And then I may leave some of them in, but incorporate them into the page. So this one, for example, I may just do something in the middle and leave the border. That's why I love working in altered books as well, is you can incorporate whatever you like on the page, and this bit of writing you can gesso it out and then put your own images on it. Or you can, girls without heads, that's always fun. Or you can leave this girl here and blank out these ones and then do a scene or something. So that one I want to work in. And this one I'm super excited about. Now I know I have 2 more circular books. It's in a circle somewhere in the shed. We packed up and moved several years ago, and I haven't unpacked those boxes. So I was in the op shop and I found this one. Not ideal, but it will still work. I'm going to do a video on converting this one. So this is a cutting edge pizza book. Cutting edge pizza. So I'm on the lookout for unique books when I go to the op shop. You don't find them very often. Or I bring them home and someone steals them. Someone named, starting with A. If you're a long time viewer on the channel, you know who that is, my lovely daughter. She stole my last really good book I brought home. So this one is actually in the shape of a circle. So I thought this would be really cool to use as an art journal. Now the binding is starting to fall apart. It's not bound real well. So what I'm thinking, and the front cover is really thick foam because you get a pizza cutter in it, which I didn't get because it was at the op shop. So I'm going to take that foam pizza cover off, and I'm going to have to rebind because you can see the binding's falling apart. And then I don't know whether I'm going to glue 2 pages together. That's usually what I do in my altered books, or whether I'm going to not do that with this one so I can have so many. I'll probably keep the back cover. I might turn the back cover into the front cover. This one cost me $2. And then put a bit of chipboard on the back or something. So I didn't realise when I got it that the binding was so bad. I don't think I can fix that as is, so I think I might have to put any little spine on it, but I will sure videotape that one because that's fun. So do look out for really cool books when you go op shopping. I know I've got a soccer one which, like, it's got a quilted soccer ball on the front, which I thought was really cool. That's in the shed somewhere in one of many boxes. And I know I've got a soup one that I've found previously as well, and this is a pizza one. So you usually find them in either the sporting section or the cooking section at your op shop. So this is not the ideal paper that I like. Then again, I could do some collage over these. That'd be really cool. Because these are glossy, but some gesso will fix these up so we can use them. Just takes a couple more coats of gesso. So that's exciting. Then I grabbed a couple more of these that I got really, really cheaply the other day. And I noticed that one's got a dent in it, but that's alright. So these are the Paper Mill Creative Journals from Riot Art and Craft. They're okay paper, great for paints, great for collage, not so good for sprays. Anything spray ink, stay away from these journals. They do look like other type of manufacturers' journals. I'll put it that way. But yeah, the paper quality is not so great. But the price point was a bit better. Just looking somewhere to put those. So these ones are A4 size. I forgot to give you the size of the circle one. Hang on 1 second. I need to clean off my desk. This year is my year to get organised. Okay, so including the edge of the book, this one is 10 inches by, or 10 inches, because it's a circle. It's early in the morning here, so that will be fun to work in. So this is a craft one that I grabbed. And it's got fairly okay paper. I actually cracked into this the other day for a class, because a class I was doing. I was participating in an online class, and you needed 3 pages that were consecutive in your journal, and none of my big journals had that. So cracked this one open with craft. Hopefully I'll do a bit more craft with background. If not, I can easily gesso it. Again, these ones I tend to, even though they're a commercial journal, take some pages out, because if you have a look at this, your spine and this is this big. So behind, I'm going to put paint. If you're sketching or doing something like that, it would be fine. But because we put paper and paint, and this one's got a sheet of acetate on it, adds bulk to it. So I usually go through and even tear out about 1/3 of these commercial journals to make expansion room, and sometimes the spine still comes apart anyway. This one has the same pocket too. Ooh, that's pretty. So then I grabbed, because I don't have many of the A4 size journals with many pages left in them, and this is my preferred size, and this is the size I use a lot. So this one has not even come out of this plastic yet. I picked these up several years ago at a really good price. I think they were like $20 a book, which was amazing. So they're okay, except don't use sprays in them, I found out. I didn't expect them to be as good quality paper as the name brand ones, but I thought for 20 bucks I'd give them a try. So this one has sort of cream or off-white paper in it. So I've already completed one of these journals, or I think I've got 1 page to go. And I will go through and remove some of these pages. So it's quite thick paper. It does sit flat when you sort of bend it and manipulate a bit, which is really cool. Being a new one, you sort of have to bend it a bit flat. And my last one, about 1/3 of the book come apart because it was getting too thick with the binding, so I didn't remove enough pages. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, but it's all learning. I see other people, and they mustn't stick as much stuff in their journals as me, because they can complete a journal, not remove any pages, and their journal only looks like about this fat. Well, mine were sort of minor alligators. And the other thing I picked was this. This is... Get these two out of the way. Oh, they're heavy. Heavy, heavy. This is something I found in my stash as well. It's a visual diary, which basically just means it's plain paper. So this is a really cool size, actually. This is 12 inches. Oh, it's 12 inches. So I don't know when this video will go up, but you've probably seen my birthday haul Christmas haul where I got some cut and collage books with lots of images to cut and collage. So I decided that what book am I going to put that in, and I've got some really really large, what I call coffee table books with big pictures of landscapes in them, or seascapes or beach, and I want to collage different crazy things in the scene. Then I needed somewhere to stick them, so I found this, and this is not the great paper, it's sort of drawing paper, but to stick collage on top of, it'll be perfect. And whether it's a small collage I do or a bigger one, I thought I will house all my collages in here in the one spot. I may do some in my art journal, I may not, it just depends on, but I thought the bigger ones would be nice to have a place to put them, and this one's sort of square, so I can go landscape, and it doesn't matter if the book goes this way and then this way. So they're all the new sort of books. I think this one's recycled anyway because it's got a bit of paint on the edge, so I must have used it for something. But again, I think I picked this one up at Spotlight many moons ago. So trying to use up older stuff. And then the current ones, and I had a journal avalanche at the moment. Then I went picking on my art journal shelf and found all of these ones. After I picked those ones, and I thought I'm really excited about all of those ones, I don't put any back. So still got my Traveller's notebook to work through. My handmade Traveller's, I'll go over there, notebook. So these are just, this one's a drawing one. So these are just using stencils and doodling through them when I want something cool to do. Again, a few of these are really like that. Don't so much like that, but I was testing out pens. And pen obviously went through. So I've got quite a few of these little books to use up. Haven't done a lot of this for ages. I think I've got one page left in here. I was playing around with the face. And then I've got a black version, then I've got some writing books in there, so I'm still working through that. So that'll probably stay forever on my bookshelf because it's Traveller's Notebook. Then I put this journal together. This little cover I found at Art and Craft. I 90% of the time work in books, but to display things and to scan things, it's a bit harder. So I decided that I wanted to work a bit on loose leaf paper as well. So I found this cover at Daiso for about $3 down in Melbourne when we go down to doctor's appointments, $3.10, $3.50 or something like that. Then I got this binder clip to put in it, which was more expensive than I thought. So I basically just put a couple of little slits in the plastic and shoved it through, and at the moment it's holding up. So, and then I cut some papers to size. So I think this is Art by Marlene paper to start with, maybe not, I don't know. Got some Art by Marlene paper to try out, but I just cut some paper to size, different papers I had on my shelf. Some are smaller, some I've just put some paint on. It's nice thick. I think this is what I cut my, I'll think of it in a minute. Cut my shapes out of for my business, had some offcuts of that, some smaller stuff. This has come out of one of those smaller, it's actually come out of this journal. Oh, and that one I've got a re-hole punch and put in. Again, I was just playing around with the stencil. Don't know whether this is finished yet. I might colour that in yet. So that is really cool to do some loose leaf pages. So I'm going to continue with that. And Alexis, if you saw the birthday and Christmas stash and I didn't think to grab it, she got me a couple of binders that have really cool patterns on them, like just A4 binders with 2 holes, 2 ring bind holes. So I thought I would do some loose leaf artwork as well. I tend to like it in books because it's sort of stored away somewhere, but at least in the folder it has a home. I don't like things just hanging around on my desk. And this journal I want to finish up this year, hopefully. This is another one of those from Art and Craft, and again I've removed about 1/3 of the pages. The binding is getting a bit skew-iff, but this one's had a lot of abuse. So you can see sort of the binding is not perfect, but I have torn pages out. I put masking tape down to try to fix it. But this one I've got a fair few pages left in it, so I want to finish this one off possibly this year. I don't work small much, as I mentioned in the start. Trying to get better at it. I tend to demonstrate in this one when I'm doing lives because it's small, and this one's one of my favourite pages. Love doing all this pen work lately. Because it's small and it's easier to get the pages done. So that one's probably got about 1/3 of it left. Then I found on the shelf, this one I forgot I started, another little altered book. This one I like the size of. It's a little bigger than this. I find this a little small, but then this one is the size I like. So this one is 7 inches by 9 inches. So it's almost an A4 piece of paper on a side. So this one I have stuck pages together, and it's got these really cool pictures, which I have done one page in here, and I have incorporated the pictures. Let me find it. So this one had really quirky pictures. So some altered books, even to tear, and I've torn a lot of these out, even the ones I've torn out, this tree was originally part of the book. So sometimes in the altered books I take what's on the page and go from there. Other times I just gesso everything off. Headless person. Gesso everything and then just use them as a plain book. I love this. This is cool. Kangaroo with flowers. So that one I'll be working in this year as well. So there's those two. We're going from smaller to bigger. Let's sit those up there and see if they won't fall down. This one's been hanging around for a while. I don't particularly like the format of the long skinniness. It's a bit hard to get used to the format, but we're getting there. So this one has been hanging around for a few years, so I do want to finish this up. But this one is also good for doing my banner, which I must update for my website and my Facebook page. I want to update that for this year. So it's good in that long format because that's the format that I need the picture to be in. So I've worked in this a little. I don't know whether that page is finished or not. Probably call it finished. This one I did again in a demo. Sometimes I when I do live demonstrations, I do them in smaller books because they take less time. Or maybe I did that one after. I think I did that one after because I did the napkins in the demo. I've forgotten. So that was interesting. Where's the one I did for my... Oh, this is the one I did for my current Facebook and website. So I may do another one in here for that. Sometimes I grab journals just to wipe off paint or demonstrate into. So I want to finish up this one. And in saying that, the landscape format, I've got this one. So these are from Montmark here in Australia. They're a sketchbook with, this one's got the sticker on it, 150 GSM paper. Now, it's not the best paper, but they are a nice, affordable art journal. Again, I usually stick 2 pages together. And again, I usually use gesso to seal the pages. So, because it's a very thirsty paper. It's a very fibrous paper. Good for sketching, not so good for mixed media. So these ones I was jelly printing in a while ago, and I must do something to these pages. So this year in 2023, actually, I was on a mission to, I don't know if I actually like that page. I was on a mission to use up pages in my other journals that I demonstrated on or that I've half finished. Sometimes I just have paint left and just shove it on the page. So a lot of my other journals have now got not half finished pages, so I have to come to this one and finish some of these pages. This was a mission inspiration. This was a live demo on a class. This was a live demo on a class a couple of years ago. This was a whole big mess. I don't know. It was an abstract class I did. And the inks. I don't know. I like it as a background. It's pretty cool. Don't know what to do with it. This one was a bit of a fail. It's beautiful, but I did it with watercolours, and then I tipped a whole cup of dirty watercolour water over it, tried to mop it up, took half the watercolour off, so I went there and did it with pencils. So this format is good for doing things like this. It's just not my preferred format. Another page I've got to do. So this one I want to, oh god, mop up page from this page. That was again a video I did. So I want to finish up this book. I do have a couple more of these in the landscape format that I will force myself to use because I have bought the journals in anticipation of doing them. But it's not my preferred long skinny format. So this is an A4 page landscape, so that will give you the size of that one. And then I've got this one that will probably not be used up this year. So a couple of these I want to finish this year in 2024. A couple will hang over to 2025. So this is sort of collage. I started this one in a motel a few years ago with Alexis. Oh, quite a few years ago now. Oh god, where's time fly? And I've done a few pages in this, but it's more for sticking magazine art. The paper is good for collage, but not good for mixed media. That one was interesting. So this one I've done recently. I think there's a video on a couple of these. But I just like having fun with magazines and pens, basically. Sometimes a bit of paint. I don't think I've ever used paint in this one. No, this one's more magazines and pens. Love doing this doodling and pen work. I could do that all day, and colouring in like this and making a perfume bottle into a body. And then this last one was fun. So I want to do a bit more of that. I want to get back in the magazine collage. So this was a complete page in a magazine, and all I added was the white down here and the white up here. So this is an ongoing one. It's only got about 5 pages in it, so I don't think that'll be finished this year. But it's exciting to finish a new journal. It's exciting to go and pick a new journal. It's a bit intimidating. You don't want to wreck the journal. The life of an art journaler. So I hope that gives you a few ideas of different journals you can use. You don't always have to go and buy very expensive commercial journals. When I say commercial, like by the big designers to use. And sometimes I find that intimidating anyway, because if you go and pay, I don't know what this one's worth, but I know these ones in the, sorry, just grabbing the book. This one in the designer brand are $60 or $70 last time I looked. Now that's a lot of money to then not want to wreck or not want to muck up or not want to make not so beautiful art. So I find if you work in altered books or you work in other sort of journals, or you find sort of more affordable journals, that takes away that anxiety of, oh, I've spent so much money on this, I want every page to be beautiful, I want every page to be perfect. Art journaling's not about that. Art journaling should be about play, should be about experimentation, should be about time spent in your journal as the journey of arting, but not the destination of the final finished page. Yes, it's nice to have a page you're happy with at the end, but if you're not, no one needs to see in your journal. No one needs to look at it, except if you're like me and share it to the world on YouTube. But journaling can be very private, and there's pages in my journals that I don't like. I get to the end and go, oh God, what was I thinking? Or I get to the end and go, oh, I've got a brilliant idea, I'll just add this to the page. And then it wasn't such a brilliant idea because it didn't look good, and I wrecked the whole thing. But that's okay, I learned not to do that next time. So I hope this gives you an idea of sort of different size journals or different ways you can get into art journaling. Also, it being more affordable as well. So if in your budget you don't have $60 or $70 to buy a commercial journal, not that this one is, look out for sales, or go to the op shop and find an altered book, or look around your house or ask friends or family for altered books. And it's amazing what books people have got around that they no longer want, that you can use for collage, sticking stuff down and cutting stuff up, or using as your base of your journal. I think I have rabbited on enough for today, so I will leave it there, and you'll see, so hopefully a lot of these journals getting pages done in them in 2024. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.